It's on the citation. Okay. Okay.
This is the Big Island Video News Update for Wednesday evening, April 19th. A protest over a state mandate to remove feral cat feeding stations from the parking lot of a Waikoloa shopping center resulted in citations on Tuesday evening. The Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources directed the removal of the feeding stations placed by feline advocates at Queens Marketplace, following complaints that native Maine geese are being negatively impacted by the consumption of cat food in close contact with feral cats. About 50 people, some carrying large bags of cat food, showed up in the rear parking lot to protest the decision. State law enforcement says 2 women were cited after they allegedly put bowls of cat food on the ground. A Queens Marketplace security officer also informed the 2 women that they were trespassing and were no longer allowed anywhere on the property.
Would anyone like to give these people an address?
Scientists tracked 2 earthquake swarms under the summit of Kilauea volcano this week and detailed the activity in a Tuesday update. The USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory says seismicity over the past week was at background levels, but there was a slight increase in earthquake counts beneath Kilauea summit during 2 small earthquake swarms. Both swarms included approximately 30 microearthquakes detected over 12 hours at a depth of half a mile. The first swarm occurred on Thursday, April 13th, and the second swarm occurred on Sunday, April 16th. The USGS says Sunday's swarm progressed into slightly increased seismicity in the South Caldera on Monday morning. Each swarm was associated with inflation recorded on the summit tilt meter. All other summit monitoring data streams over the past week remain normal, and sulfur dioxide emissions from the summit remain low. A flood watch was in effect for most of Hawaii Island on Wednesday. Here is the Hawaii County Civil Defense radio message that was issued in the early afternoon.
The National Weather Service Flash Flood Watch remains in effect for the island of Hawaii. A special weather statement for showers with strong gusty winds has been issued for the areas of South Kohala, Kona, and the island interiors through this afternoon. Wind gusts up to 55 miles per hour are expected. Due to the severe conditions, the following actions are in effect. Road closures may occur without warning. Do not attempt to cross flowing water in your vehicle or on foot. Turn around, don't drown. Civil Defense requests that you avoid driving until conditions improve. Winds this strong could knock down trees and blow around unsecured objects. Thank you for listening. This is your Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency.
There was also a winter weather advisory posted for Hawaii Island summits. Forecasters said a wintry mix with 1 to 3 inches of snow was possible, along with a chance of freezing rain. Winds gusting as high as 55 miles per hour were also possible. Officials are reporting another leak from an observatory on the summit of Maunakea, this time originating from the SUBARU telescope. Details were shared during a recent Maunakea Stewardship and Oversight Authority meeting.
We were notified by SUBARU that they discovered on April 6th a leak of, again, ethylene glycol within their facility. The leak occurred from a small piece of equipment, or a piece of equipment that's used to pressurize the mirrors when they're handling and moving the mirrors. This particular piece of equipment had not been operational or turned on since July of last year. The cause appears to be a faulty O-ring in the filter. It's estimated since the time that it was last operated that about 6 liters of fluid were released in the building over an 8-month period. There is no indication that any of the spilled fluid reached the environment or the soil. It's all contained within the facility.
In January, a coolant leak was reported at a different telescope, the University of Hawaii's 88-inch observatory, operated by the UH Institute for Astronomy. The Hawaii Board of Land and Natural Resources last week voted to approve a conservation district use application for the removal of a small educational observatory on Mauna Kea. The decommissioning of the University of Hawaii's Hokokea Observatory is tentatively scheduled to begin in late 2023 and take about 5 months to complete.
In terms of Hokokea, they are proposing full removal of all structures and partial restoration to the basic topography. in Exhibit 1, we have the location. It's on the left-hand side of the road. And then there's like a flat area that people use for parking to observe sunrise or sunset. And then on that same map, Area B is Ukert, another observatory. We label it on this map because there are some shared infrastructure. So the dome itself is about 18 foot tall and then rests on a cement slab that's about 20 feet across. This structure will be or is proposed to be completely removed. It is vacant at this time. The second building that will be removed is on the next page, and this is the generator building. And it's about 18 feet by 12 feet. It's just a squat brick building. The proposal is the full removal of these structures, partial restoration of the topography. And the reason is, if you look at the dome, you see how much it's been graded. And we're not sure, or the university isn't sure if we could identify the original topography. And if so, it would require a significant amount of fill and new material to try to create what was there in the 1960s.